Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your evil hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason, Corey, Elgin, and Spooty.
Yo, Joe! And welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. We're a punk rock band of brothers. That's us. We all get together and talk about one of our shared loves, toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. We're also here to make fun of Jason, apparently. If this is your first episode or you're new to the show, hey, guess what? We're not experts or anything. We're just toy enthusiasts, so we're not always going to get it right. Get it off our backs.
Get it off our
We're not experts, but we have really strong opinions.
Yes, strong opinions. Let's introduce the band, your fellow podcast co-hosts. On lead vocals and rhythm guitar, he's our real American hero. It's Corey Canny.
I am Spooty.
No, you're not. You're Corey. Let's wait to see if you do anymore.
I'm Spooty.
No.
I'm Spooty.
On vocals and lead guitar.
It's Spooty.
Nope, it's a true master of the universe, the quiet one, Elgin Arney.
It's Spooty.
Hi, I'm Spooty.
No, you're not. Next up on the bass guitar, he's more than me. Yeah, he's our Transformers guy. It is the real Spooty.
Hi.
I'm Corey. That's what he said. I thought that's what he was going to say.
I thought about going off on like a Corey rant that he does, but I didn't want to give him that satisfaction.
Lastly, on drums, it's me regretting everything. Jason, here to share my love of horror, Funko Pops, and definitely Transformers. Oh, you guys. This is episode 10. We made it to episode 10. That's pretty cool, right?
Because we love you is why we do
That
Just
must
remember,
be it.
you asked them to come do this.
That's what I tell my therapist, is that they love me, and that's why. We have a very relevant and practical topic of today's show. I know Spooty has a box full of parts that used to look like a G1 Shockwave. And I know Corey and Elgin, they've both spoken about toys they've fixed before. So we're going to be talking about broken toys and when to fix them and when to replace them. And that should be fun.
Uh-huh.
We're also going to visit a toy store from right here in our home state of Iowa. It's one of the biggest and best we've got. You can also be cool like Sergeant Slaughter and follow us on Twitter
You maggots!
at Cracktastic Pod and on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Cracktastic Plastic. Maybe we'll get other celebrities by the next time we record. We'll see.
He's totally going to
Maybe,
unfollow us after all
It's
this.
possible.
Maybe we'll get Ricky the Steamboat Dragon.
That'd be sweet. He's not doing anything.
But right now, maybe we should do something. Let's talk about the toys we've picked up lately in the segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools. If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right, Corey, what do you got? What's new over there?
What do I got?
Besides a bad attitude, what's...
I brought with me some of the stuff that I got from the toy store that we will be visiting at the end of the episode. So I won't name the store.
Right, because it's totally in the title of the episode that they might... maybe they don't read it. They just,
I don't know, maybe.
They just click on it.
What do
'cause
I
they
know?
They gotta,
Should I say?
Should I say it? Oh my God! Should I say it? I'm not going to say it. Should I say it? Yeah.
No.
Such a tease, Corey.
Last time we were there, I picked up. I got a pretty good deal. I got a couple of figures. It was not a lot, but it was a Tiger Force tripwire. He's a repaint of the original tripwire. I brought them both with me so you could see the Tiger Force and the repaint. And I got a Heat Viper, which I army build. And he's like bright yellow and purple, but I just think he's so cool because he's like got all these missiles, like these tiny little missiles that detach from his legs, and he's got this giant bazooka thing with this big cable that like hooks up to his helmet so that you can see all the things and does the stuff.
So what's army build?
Army build is when you have when it's hoarding.
It's picking a figure and getting a bunch of them.
Picking a figure and buying so many of them that the value of them skyrockets because nobody can find them anywhere.
But you can imagine, like for Star Wars collectors, you'd get the stormtroopers and things.
The
like
bat,
that.
which I have one of those with me too, from our last episode. He's like one of the. There's like two main army builders. There's the bat and there's the 86 Viper, and those are the ones that most people army build. And that's why they are so expensive, because literally people have hundreds of these guys in, like, it's not like he's a rare figure. It's that you can't find him because, one guy has...
Supply is gone.
Yeah, one guy has 50 of them and just doesn't want to part with a single one because they wants to have this giant army of them because it looks cool on a shelf. When I say I army build them, I have 5. And I'm not going to get any more.
You militia
because
build them.
Eventually, I'll build a diorama, and the 5 Heat Vipers I have, and the 5. There's another one that I kind of army build. It's the Techno Viper, and there's a third one, and I don't remember which one now off the top of my head. But I got him. There, and I think I paid $30 for both figures, so $15 a piece, basically.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad. So that was my hunt. And Tripwire, like, he was one of my favorites as a kid. I don't know why. It's kind of a goofy looking figure, but like,
Kinda.
There's been several versions of him. Some of them are actually kind of rare. There was a listen and fun version, which like he was like orange and red, and came with a book and a cassette tape. And like to find one of those still in the package, you can find them on eBay. They're like $500, and that's one that I had when I was a kid. Like my parents got me the listen and fun stuff, so I could play with the toy and read the book and listen to it on the tape and all that kind of stuff,
And have fun.
So which one's which?
Which one? The ones
I
with the
just saw
tiger
the tiger.
stripes is
Yep.
the
Tiger.
is the
So it's
Tiger
his
Force
special
one.
skill finding the bombs?
Yeah, it's a minesweeper guy.
Nice.
And he's got a pack full of bombs on his back. And
As you would.
so I've got the original, I've got the Tiger Force, and I've got one from like the early 2000s. I think it was just a re-release with slightly darker colors. And then there was the Listen and Fun one, and then there was the Fun School version, which is like way expensive. Our friend Jeremy has one that I have actually been able to touch. So, that's me. That's what I got this week for my Thrill of the Hunt.
It's not catching on. Don't worry. Elgin.
I got like a Funko Palooza over here.
Oh, it's so awesome. I'm so happy to see it.
I picked up another McCurry find. It's a slime pit He-Man, all green looking and everything.
Cool.
I was going to say, it looks like the slime from Nickelodeon. What's
Yeah.
that show? You Can't Do That on Television?
Yep. And so in the canon of Motu, basically you would get trapped in the slime pit, which is like a little skull thing.
In Snake Mountain? Or just some...
It's its own playset, and you pour slime and it comes out of a mouth, like a skull mouth,
Now
and
he's a
it,
mushroom.
and that and it comes down and like turns him into like evil, basically. The slime turns him like Hordak would do that to people.
Yeah, he's this really cool translucent green.
Yeah.
I remember that from the commercials, the slime thing.
Yeah, it's like a dinosaur that comes out of his mouth and traps him
Red
there.
eyes. He's
So, yeah.
definitely
So
evil.
I just got that the day we're recording this.
Or stoned.
I think we actually had the slime mountain.
You think we did? Oh, you know what?
So I remember the dinosaur head thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means you
It's
might
gone
still...
now. No, it's gone now. You got to say that right away. It's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be in a box somewhere.
No.
Who knows?
When it's found, it'll be gifted to me.
Of course.
But
For a price.
yeah, exactly. Fine, I'll do that thing you like. Anyway, I got this on the day we're recording this episode, so when it actually airs, it'll be in the past.
A video long.
There's a video of me opening this box and looking
Months
at it.
later.
So that's when I got from Macari again, and then Jason
That's
sent
me.
me a message, and said, "Hey, do you want these little keychain Funko Pops?" I was like, "Yes, of course."
You
And
were like, now.
yes, now.
Didn't expect
want
it
them
to
now,
happen,
Daddy.
So
And there's there's a She-Ra, there's a Terraclaw Skeletor, and then a He-Man. So
and you just said minutes after getting these, the She-Ra's already like
19.
5 times
It was
the
like
price.
$19 trending on on the Funko app,
Oh my gosh.
which I also apparently have now to
Yes,
look at
yes,
stuff
you
to scan because
do.
you can scan the barcodes and put it in your collection.
Man. Oh
It's
man.
so amazing.
Which you do
You
right
drank
before
the
you throw the boxes
Kool-Aid.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right
Oh,
before
I
I toss
wish we
the
had it
box.
for Transformers.
You
I
should
wish
just
we could
you should
code.
sell the you should stop tossing your
Yeah, I
boxes
know.
and just sell the boxes on eBay.
You could.
I could, but I don't sell things. That's
You could
Even
give
if
them to
it's-
Jason to sell on
okay.
eBay.
I'll just give them to Jason.
I like it. Well, Spooty, what do you got over there?
Well, speaking,
Besides the highest note you've ever reached.
that happens occasionally. Sometimes he gets scared. Well, Jason just brought me a world's smallest action micro figures Bumblebee.
He brought me one of those too. I forgot to mention it. Go on, Spooty.
He's so tiny.
Yeah, he's like an inch tall, and it comes with a little cool plastic like backer blister pack thing. Pretty sweet. It'd be amazing if he transformed, but
But Elgin brought in some before, right? You can open those.
Yes, you
and
can
put
open
it-
the back of the blister pack. When you get it out of the big blister pack, there's a smaller
which
blister pack.
I'm tempted. I like it.
maybe.
There's like
And then-
plastic wrapped up behind them.
Yeah, that's what has like their weapons.
Okay.
That's
Tiny,
in there.
tiny,
Tiny
losable
weapons.
Yeah, gonna lose those.
One
Something's
sneeze
gonna-
and it's
Yeah,
gone.
I haven't taken them out of that little plastic bag on mine.
Yeah. And then just like Elgin with there's a video
Months ago.
That'll be months ago by the time you see this. I also have the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy Soundwave.
He's so cool.
I did an unboxing video.
Yeah.
From now, it was like a week ago, but months
We're
months
hoarding
ago.
these episodes and doing so many in
Yeah.
advance.
No, we're not. This we're not.
It's basically live.
We're alive right now.
Let's just say your video is so influential. I got messages about it already.
That's funny.
Brian Clark, he's like, "You son of a bitch, and your goddamn toy show,
Yeah.
your damn toy podcast."
Already made somebody buy one of these.
Yep, he sure did. And
Which
it's
is
worth
great because it's really cool. Its
It
robot
is.
mode is great. It comes with a Ravage and Laserbeak.
all
It's
you
the,
want.
the fattest Ravage I've ever seen.
He's been putting on the
He's
pounds.
kind of gone
chunky.
to see it a little bit.
He's but still looks really
Cool.
cool.
The tapes fit in the chest.
Yeah, the tape's in the chest opens. And he doesn't look too bad as the tape deck. A little chunky on the back, which I think is kind of how the original was.
Yeah.
like
It
a
wasn't
battery
perfect,
pack where
but
the
yeah.
battery.
Yeah,
the
there's
gun
like a
and stuff
spine
went
on
in.
the back of it and stuff.
And his battery's attached back there too, which is great. And it, the colors are spot on for the.
It looks
Yeah,
really cool.
This Netflix version has the color scheme's a little bit better than the Earthriser Siege. He came out earlier, I think, but he had more of that.
Yeah,
It seems opposite that the Netflix stuff has had more of the battle damagey paint schemes and things. But in this case, I think his earlier version, he was all scuffed up and looking. This is more,
yeah. With the War for Cybertron, there's
G1
several versions of almost all of them.
yeah.
And this one is pretty great. He does have like around the tape deck, it's yellow, which is kind of weird, but it looks good
does look
with the
good.
blue. Usually it's like the G1, it's gold.
Corey's playing with the cat.
Trying to shoo him away.
Be a good kid
He's
and
just
fuck
gonna-
off.
We don't jump on the recorder machine like
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
the first episode.
Yeah, that was scary.
Cats are cool. Yeah, so that's what I got this week. Check out the video to watch me unbox it.
Cool. Well, you're not going to see my video of unboxing because I don't do that too much. But not that I gave up on our Walmart, but it's gotten so bad. I'm traveling to other Walmarts, and it's. I know one. I mean,
It's not entirely on your way home.
it's not No,
It's not.
it's
Not
really
not
not
on
on my way home.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get to your home while going there.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
now when I rationalize Fairfield on my way home, then it's probably less. It's not anyway.
That's
Our Walmart's not had the Transformers Studio series yet, but I've been finding them in a town over, and other toy shows and things have been talking about them, and I've seen them out and come out, and I'm like, oh, they're not coming to my Walmart. Maybe I'll never see them, and hear about them being kind of not rare, but just you don't see them in the wild much, and then.
Right.
As soon as I saw him at this Walmart, I'm like, my hand hasn't moved that fast in a long time. And so the first, what the cat do now?
nothing.
Oh,
Laughing
okay.
at you.
Oh,
Your hand.
Doesn't move that fast in a long time.
anyway, so I got the
You get old and you get tired.
first
Man of
two.
a certain age, I guess.
The first two I got is Blur and Cup, and those from the Transformers movie from '86. And these two figures are gorgeous.
They're awesome.
Even Corey earlier was looking at him, and like I could see him in his eye.
My arm's a little
maybe-
faster than Jason's still.
That's true. But I could see in your eye that you're like, man, maybe I could just, maybe I
yeah.
should.
Well, I was
wished
saying earlier
I'd,
the Mirage figure that you brought along, like I was looking at it in Walmart earlier thinking, man, this is cool. I wish I collected Transformers. Like I was like 50-50. I was really on the fence. Like I might buy this thing because it looks so cool. But I left it for someone who actually collects Transformers.
Yeah, very sweet of you. And then I also got the Hot Rod from the movie, the '86 movie, and he's pretty cool. Comes with some really neat accessories. Lot of accessories.
He looks good. He's got the matrix of knowledge or whatever it is.
leadership.
I kind of don't like that he's bigger because the
Scale
G1
wise.
toy was the same size. As the
Right,
rest
he's a
of
little
them.
more Rodimus size, but then he doesn't. I've heard complaints, not complaints, but like, yeah, he's in scale with the Masterpiece Rodimus Prime, but he's not actually
Yeah.
in scale with it, so it's a little unfortunate, but it's.
Unless they did like a Rodimus like attachment to him that made
That
him.
would be amazing. But I did see this Studio Series Transformer from the Bumblebee movie, Starscream. And if you know me, if I see a Starscream, I got to buy a Starscream, and I don't have him. But I'll tell you what, this, yes, he's gorgeous, but he's not. He's actually kind of ugly.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
Robot mode's cool.
I don't love. Oh, I hate the jet mode. I don't hate it, but.
If you look too close at his face, you really don't like him.
I don't really like how he looks. It's too bad. And so that coupled with the box at my Walmart was a little smashed up a scotch, and I was like, well, those two things, all right, I'll move on. And if he's there when I come back, it was meant to be, and I'll get him then. Or some, you tell
Yeah.
yourselves those stupid things.
Yeah, you rationalize it before
And
you
then
spend
on my
money
way
next
home,
time.
I went to this other store, and as I drove the 20 minutes to the other Walmart, I'm like, God dang it, maybe I should have got him. I know he's not going to be there. I told myself he was going to be there. Is Spooty going to go get him?
For the
now?
record, you went to 2 Walmarts today. Did you go to GameStop too?
No,
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to because I didn't want to because okay, I wanted Transformers.
I was just asking.
God,
They
get off
have
my case.
Transformers
But yeah,
because
so
GameStop's a toy store now.
it is.
Yeah,
Pretty
yes.
much.
So when he was there, when I got to the second Walmart and the box was in good shape, and I talked myself into like, all right, I'll get him too. But so I ended up
what's
getting
wrong,
him.
what's wrong with his face?
Well, he's just the
just
whole
got a
toy
dumb
just,
fucking
he
face.
just looks.
Okay.
He's just.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet.
yeah.
It's a lot of. I don't know. He just doesn't.
Seems
It's
that-
not that he looks not
look
like
like that.
Starscream. He does. He's just a big, angular, jumbled mess a bit.
Mhm.
I don't love him, but I love him because he's
Yeah.
Starscream. So,
So you're not going to have buyer's remorse or anything. You're
absolutely
just gonna,
not.
It's just
Well-
going to be the worst toy in your collection.
And you also get it's a Studio Series box.
Right.
Which,
Oh yeah, and the
which
artwork
is
on
nice.
these boxes are just great.
And it's got the window in the top and the
a lot of windows.
Yeah,
the
the
spines,
cut through.
both sides of the spines are
That's cool.
Great.
The boxes
Which-
art is very
why,
cool.
Why is there an Autobot symbol cut
he's-
through on the side?
Because the other ones have the 86, so I don't know if there isn't really like a Bumblebee logo maybe.
It's a misprint and it's worth thousands.
That could be it. So good thing I got it.
Yeah, you should totally sell that on eBay.
Nope, not doing it. Nice try.
Since you hate it so much.
I love him. He's awesome. He's Starscream. He's my boy.
Like I can see how they try to kind of do the Cybertron jet,
But then it's something
but
else
it's
too.
not.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess I'm collecting these studio series now. Gosh dang it. Other Walmart. I know there's a big old Grimlock floating out there that everyone's really wanting to. I know Turnip's got him.
Have you gotten over to Mount Pleasant?
Brian sees him and doesn't get him every time. No, I haven't. No.
I want that one. Somebody,
Oh, I know. Right.
I'll pay retail price for it.
He does
Yes.
have a dumb face.
right.
Like a weird, dumb, angular nose. And
I think if it was more like kind of like plainer looking like these
Yeah.
other ones, I think that might
It
be
kind of has
it's
a
almost like
the Transformers movie.
like a
Yeah,
like a
look
to it.
Michael Bay
A little bit. A little bit.
face.
Yeah, not the animated.
Definitely
movie.
not on par
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
86 movie versions of the studio series, but anyway, I got some and they're gorgeous and they look really good, and it's kind of like getting a masterpiece-ish level quality figure, but at a more affordable price.
you know what it reminds me of? If you look at his nose and his chin, it's like a robot version of Quagmire.
Oh, okay.
Does that make you like it more or less?
I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that. But while I'm thinking about that, let's get into our topic for today. What do you say?
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned up front, I came into Spoodie's place the other day, and he's like, hey, check out my box of parts. And I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, wait a minute. Those parts look like it used to be a Transformer. What's going on, Spoodie? Why?
Explain yourself.
What have you done?
My G1 Shockwave was broken in one of the spots that it usually breaks in. Is the elbows. The little tabs kind of snap off, and so I completely took it apart to clean it.
You took it apart.
Yeah, completely.
Super apart.
And actually unsoldered and
Wow.
took it apart.
That's cool.
And also, it needed some other work too. It had one of the legs that didn't quite want to stand up, and the toes were a little floppy and
Floppy toes.
floppy toes.
Get that at my age.
Yeah, it didn't have the problem where the springs holding the chest piece together were too strong and pushing it apart. That's pretty common. So it'll split apart and the head will just fall off and stuff like that.
You've always, I guess, in my memory, you've always been a smart guy, and I guess
Until
it doesn't-
recently.
it doesn't. It doesn't say that. This doesn't seem like a big departure for you. Or this can't be your first toy that you worked on before, is it?
It's not the first time I've taken them apart either,
Oh man,
because I fixed his other elbow. So, and then the other one broke.
Is it fun? Do you like it? Why'd you do it?
I hate it because it broke. So, because I remember it not being broken,
Yeah, those are good memories.
and so it's better if it's something that's already broke, or I get it that way. But
Yeah.
What are you gonna do to fix it? I guess.
well, I've tried some plastic weld, and I might have to actually drill it and put a screw in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
about doing that.
there's a lot of tension on that part, so it might not actually hold with the plastic weld's really good. It makes it just as strong as normal. I did when I took it apart. The reason I took all the electronics out is I let the pieces set in almost boiling water for 5 or 10 minutes, and that actually, with thermoplastic, it lets it kind of relax. And so if it's brittle, it actually kind of takes the brittleness out of it.
Gives it a second life in a way.
Yeah, and so the chance of it breaking after that is greatly reduced.
That's cool.
And with the way the stickers are on it, they're like a plastic sticker, so the water doesn't actually do anything to it. At least the ones that are on this one.
Yeah, and I've heard Corey's mentioned before in past episodes that any stress marks, it helps
Yeah.
get rid of those.
It gets rid of
Boiling
stress
water
marks,
maneuver.
And then also the hose is kind of getting old, so I'm just covering it in shrink wrap to kind of preserve it.
Sure.
And that seems to be working okay. Not
So
quite done
it's-
with that yet.
So is it important to restore it? Is it more about restoring it, like, so maybe not restoring back to its original, like, pristine? You just want to
Preserve.
make it work? Preserve, yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be able to stand on the shelf.
Yeah.
And the way it's at, I mean, so if the hose breaks, then, it doesn't stand right.
But that particular toy has electronics and sound and lights,
Yeah,
making you hope to get that fixed too, or?
That always worked.
Oh, good.
So, I, just don't store a battery in it
Yep.
because that's the worst thing you can do. It just needs a little TLC. I'm never going to get rid of it.
Nope.
But if I did, I wouldn't sell it as a mint condition.
Yeah.
Even if you couldn't tell that I fixed it, because everything that I'm fixing mostly is not seeable, like internal stuff. And that's pretty fun seeing the engineering that goes into it.
Yeah. I've only recently started watching some videos of people taking apart a transformer, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's one of the
That's really cool.
one of the draws of Transformers is it's a puzzle and it's some cool engineering to get them to transform. Seeing how they do that.
Right.
And a lot of the G1s, it's a lot of them are really similar, and so if you learn to take one apart, you can learn to take most of them apart.
Oh, and sometimes you're like, that couldn't be more simple of
Yeah.
a maneuver, and yet it's like it's so complicated when you're playing with the toy. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Is this your first big reconstruction? Or have you fixed some before? Or
Like little bits here and there, but I mean, I fixed him before.
oh, right. But you're not opposed to keeping broken toys and having part toys.
No, I have a box of just broken toys that are missing stuff. I, eventually would like to get the rest of the parts for him.
Sure. Yeah, that's always fun project stuff to be doing. Well, I know Corey, he's always talking about fixing this and fixing that and fixing this. Tell us about your adventures.
Well, so like with G.I. Joe's, one of the most common things is the O-ring breaks in them.
Right.
They have little rubber bands in them, and they
I've heard of that.
get old and they break. And it's funny to me, like I see it pop up more often than I really thought I would. Like people asking, "Oh, this is broken. How do I fix it?" And that's really foreign to me because I figured out when I was about 7 years old how to fix a G.I. Joe with a broken O-ring. Like you take the screw out of the back and take out the broken O-ring and put in a new rubber band or whatever you could figure out when you were 6 or 7 years old and just replace it and it works again. So, yeah, I mean, that happens all the time. And obviously those are worth doing because you can buy a bag of O-rings for a couple of bucks and just replace them. The problem comes when, the old brittle plastic, like the waist pieces, the crotch area, their little peens break off if you're not careful with them. And the other thing is, like, if you get the wrong size O-ring in like an 82 figure, if you get an O-ring that's too thick, it'll break their arms off.
Wow.
When you're trying to put it back together. The one I brought with me tonight, it's this Mean Dog. It's a G.I. Joe vehicle. And like, if you look at the back wheels on it, you can see the clips that were originally holding the wheels on. And the clips are the same style on the front. But the plastic's old and brittle and broke off. So I was able to drill some holes and thread some holes and put in some nuts and bolts and actually make it better than it was originally and the way it probably should have been made in the first place, and just screwed the wheels on. And they still roll because I put it together properly and they're not like stiff or anything. But
Oh, is this the one you did the photo shoot?
yeah, I did.
that's
I did a
awesome.
little photo shoot thing with it. I
Stories.
don't think it's on our Instagrams. I think it's on our Facebook page
Because there
somewhere.
are too many pictures.
And I got shit about taking too many pictures and making too many words, and I don't know
It's just the program.
how instant. I
Do you
know.
feel the need to color that in black with a Sharpie?
No, I don't feel the
Doesn't
need at
bother
all.
you at all?
No, because then like you can see that. Hey, look at that! I fixed
me.
it. Look at the thing that I did. I mean, I suppose hiding repainting it would be all right. But originally the pins sticking through it were brown, so
Gotcha.
You can get enamel car paint pens,
yeah,
like the detailing pens.
yeah.
He's not trying to hide his work. He's trying to show it off.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of fix, or if it can't be fixed, maybe it can be customized. And I've done a few customization things, you know, and like, yeah, I mean, a broken toy doesn't necessarily mean it's a useless toy. And there are times when it kind of gets to that point, where like something is so broken that there's not really anything that's salvageable, but it seems like there's almost always something that is salvageable, because like even if that thing was smashed to pieces, somebody somewhere is missing a wheel for theirs, or somebody somewhere is missing that top gun or something. And so yeah, I am definitely a fixer and a keeper. I don't think I've ever sold or gotten rid of a broken toy simply because it was broken. I have sold parts off of one that was broken because somebody else needed them, and I thought, well, hey, I'll do this guy a favor. He doesn't have any wings for his whatever. I have a set of nice ones, and here you go. And usually stuff like that, when I sell it, it's like, give me $10 plus shipping, because I probably didn't pay anything major for it, and so I just, I want someone else to be able to preserve something and not have to break their bank to do it.
I've always, once you said it, I've always heard that fixing the O-rings was like the most common thing.
It's really common.
I just want to saying it live on the show. Maybe we can talk you into, because I'm dumb and I've never seen it before. Maybe we could get you to do a video sometime.
I
could.
You almost have to do it with every G.I. Joe.
Yeah, eventually. Even like there's ones that are like mint on card, and they're so old that the O-ring has deteriorated and broken, and they're broken inside the package. They've never been opened, but it's now a broken toy.
And I know I can go watch these videos right now, but I'd rather watch
done
you
them,
do it.
yeah.
So maybe we could.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be cool.
And the other thing that happens, though, like I said, you replace an O-ring and you're not careful and you pop the peen off. And, broken thumbs are a common thing, but they're now with all the sculpting plastic that they have, like stuff like that. There's a lot of people that are like rebuilding this stuff with like sculpting plastic and then painting it. And they're doing a pretty good job. So because, these toys there are only so many of them, and eventually the plastic on all of them is going to degrade so much that they're just going to crumble. Like these aren't going to last forever. Eventually they're just going to turn to complete shit, and they're not going to be worth anything because they're all completely broken. But, there are people out there that are doing sculpting with plastic and like repairing them and preserving them that way, and like rebuilding thumbs and rebuilding,
I love seeing
gender reassignment surgery and
supporting all of that. Well, Elgin, he brought in tools even. This is exciting.
Well, I think you said something about like bringing the stuff that you work with.
Yeah, I see a tool there that I have a couple of those that I use for O-ring replacements.
Yeah, basically like a hooked tool.
It's a pick.
Yeah, like a pick with a rounded edge around it. I have 3 other ones that are like straight and angled. Because they come in a set. But I use this one specifically as a hook to get like the O-ring
problems
too.
Huh?
Well, the legs on most of the Motu stuff, they are just crumble and the legs fall off. Basically, the rubber on it deteriorates.
And you got to play with those legs hard.
Yeah,
too, right?
Yeah. And if you're moving them around and stuff, they don't really stand up anyway, and it's just worse with over age. So you can replace those pretty easily with the type of O-ring. I usually just get a large one and then double it around so it stays in a little better in there. And I did it with Extendor here. I replaced that one. There you can kind of see the little. I use these little like hook, like for plant hook type things. Screw hook, yeah. And you just take some pliers, and once you get the O-ring around it, then you plier it down, clamp it down so it doesn't get out of there, and then get some floss and hook it to that, and string it through his groin area, and then pull it up, and then screw it into his other leg, get as much of the rubber out of his legs as possible, and then screw that into it, clamp it back down again, and use this to kind of pry the the O-ring through there and through his like groin area, basically. And that's probably the most common thing with the Motu figures is the legs falling off because that's where the rubber goes through and attaches the legs. They do make like specific ones, like the bands that go through there. But you have to like boil the legs until it softens up and then pry out as much of that as possible. This is just a quick, easy fix to
Make it work.
if you don't want to do all that and then buy those specifically. You can get these O-rings at, Menards or any other hardware store and any of this other stuff at hardware stores. So
That has
just-
to be a good thing.
Kind of depends on how stock you want it.
yeah, exactly. And I want to keep the vintage figure that I have. I don't want to.
So can you even tell by looking at it that you've done that? Like, is there any way to, no.
Not really.
Yeah, it's if you get it screwed down enough into it, and if it's small enough, you can get different sizes of these hooks as well, and it'll go up into that as well. So, but this guy extends out.
I've never seen that guy before.
Oh, he's getting bigger.
So he's an extendar because he
Oh,
extends.
the name is what it does.
Yep, the name tells you everything you need to know.
Whoa, he's huge. He's like Corey tall.
Yeah. So this guy, the story of this guy quickly is that he wanted to be as strong as He-Man. He was like friends with He-Man. And so he went to Hordak and was like, hey, I want to be strong as He-Man. So Hordak gave him some magic abilities, basically turned him into a robot and called him, he's like the Tower of Power is the nickname for him. And he was kind of evil and then started to fight He-Man, but then turned good. So he's went back to being good. As the quick story of that backstory of him.
Yeah, he's cool, and you can't really tell. I mean, you kind of see things in there, but then I'm like, did I even look in other ones before?
Yeah, no.
So I don't know.
And another thing, if you want vintage figures, and if you know this trick, well, not really a trick, but just a way to fix them, you can get even cheaper figures, and then just like broken legs, like a figure with like 2 broken legs, then just fix it yourself and get that vintage. You still have the vintage
seems
figure,
worth
and
doing.
then you can just fix it yourself, and it's now you have a vintage figure that you may paid of like a fraction of what it was.
Very cool.
Which I've done on tour as well. I've just like there was a Spikor that had his legs broken, but the
You're like, I know the
one of the-
secret.
yeah.
I can fix it.
I was like, I can fix
Yeah.
that easy.
So give it to me for $2.
Well, I bought.
It was like
bought,
$5, and I already had his weapon from another store. So
Oh,
the store we talked about that we all love, the small one that had Spider-Man still in. Which one
yes,
was that?
that's the store I was talking about.
What store is that?
your toy connection.
Your Toy
Toy
Connection.
Connection,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. I bought 5 or 6 broken like figures from because I knew it's just, and he knew too, but he just didn't feel like changing the O-ring, so he had them for a few bucks a piece in a bin. And
Yep.
I bought like 5 or 6 of those that just needed O-rings replaced. And
Yeah, that's where I bought that Spikor because I got the weapon, his mace weapon in Chicago because I bought a bunch of weapons. I was like, well, now I just need to find Spikor, which is easier to find without a weapon. And since his legs were broken, I was like, well, that's even cheaper now. So
yeah, especially if you can fix it.
yeah,
So
it's
it's
pretty easy.
one of the cool places about the toy pit that we went to is that they had just bins
much
of like
bulk.
Yeah.
they had just bins of broken toys too.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for like parts, which
Yeah.
I bought a Sinner twin that had
Oh, yeah.
mine has a broken tail because it's got 2 of them. It had a broken leg, the one I bought, but his tail was fine. So.
Yeah.
I've also had to glue like on that snout spout that I had. It was cracked on the bottom, so I re-glued. When somebody glued it before, they used just like regular super glue, but because his action feature is with water, that's just gonna gonna deteriorate that glue. So I got some waterproof Loctite and used that instead, and now he's much better. And then even with his axe, I drilled out to put a nail gun nail in it to kind of reinforce that.
That's a thing too, like putting pins in
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
basically just drilling out slowly and carefully, and then glue it with the pin, and now it's basically a brand new toy again.
Yeah.
So
I have zero problem with broken toys. I kind of love them. I find myself going to a lot of junk stores and flea markets and garage sales, and like sometimes a shitty ass broken toy of a original toy might be the only time I'll ever get to see one in person. And I'm like, I'm not going to not get it
It's
because
like you got to rescue it.
no toy left behind,
Exactly,
right, Elgin?
exactly.
And so I find myself doing that a lot. I got plenty of G1s that are just a shit show. I mean, if in my head I'm like, easy to rationalize. If I can make him stand up and look okay as a robot, I don't give a shit if he's got tires anymore. I don't care if he
Right.
has stuff broken off. If he looks okay as a robot, I don't mind.
If I ever wanted to have these guys stand up, I would just buy like little stands or make little stands so that would lock in their feet.
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter if it's,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm playing with them anyway, so I'm not like
There is
posing them.
there's totally a 3D printed
Yep.
stands.
Yeah.
But I've never really fixed a toy before. I don't have any memory of doing that. I know one thing I do. When I do find these junk toys, I'll tell you what, I love the cleaning process.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all have that old toothbrush we keep off to the side just for cleaning them, and that part's really nice
I usually try to
relaxing.
clean anything I get that I bring back, like from like vendor shows, or because they're usually
They're pretty
very
gross, and
dirty,
you can't put them in. You don't want to put them in your mouth until after they
exactly.
But I'll tell you what,
or other places.
yeah, since falling in love with toy hacks, just for an example, like I had an old busted up Wheeljack G1, and I just knew in my memory that he was just completely white, had no stickers. So I'm like, oh, what a perfect excuse to get new stickers for it. And I knew that, like, well, he's not complete or nothing. I know one of his wings is kind of crappy. Maybe we'll fix that, and maybe so. Like, I'm kind of excited. I mean, Spooty will help me, and that really means I'll probably just have Spooty do it for me. But,
just bring them all over.
and so I'm kind of excited to get that fixed, and maybe, well, not just, I mean, because then I can get the stickers put on them and work them back up into shape, and like so I'm finding myself when I didn't, my memory didn't remember that he's missing the windshield, and I'm like, darn it, so now I'm like, now I need to hunt for another broken toy with the windshield, and now that's kind of exciting. And then I'll have even more parts, and then, oh, crap.
It's definitely like a satisfying thing when you have a toy at home and it's missing something, and you just happen to be like rummaging through some junk at a toy store, and you're like, oh, it's the thing. And it's like, that's pretty satisfying.
My memory says I've heard you get there a lot.
Yeah.
On tour, you're like, oh, I found the piece.
Yeah,
And Elgin too. Yeah, you've picked up weapons that you needed.
a lot of
really
times the
obsessed
missing
with
pieces are the weapons that they have, and
like, I could give two shits about the guns and things. I know they get lost and all that, but from the beginning, you've
which
always
is
been
good
like,
because good luck trying to figure out which one goes to
I
which
know.
one.
But Elgin's always been like weirdly obsessed with the complete
Yeah.
original.
I never was, and now
I
love
kind
it.
of am.
I know he's making me that way too. I'm trying not to listen, but it's cool.
well, the attack track that I got, like I need to order some bands for the wheels and stuff, the tracks. But a lot of that's from like Toy Polloi, like his videos on like how to fix stuff and how to like getting stickers and putting those on there, and like the actual what they should look like. Because
getting stickers off.
Yeah, and getting stickers
Yeah.
like just general maintenance and stuff. It's a great resource for anyone wanting
Definitely
to
want to
look
promote
at that.
Toy Polloi.
Yeah.
How do you spell it, Corey?
TOYPOLLOI.
Yes.
And his YouTube channel is just one of the greatest things. You can just put that on and just watch him fix
It's-
toys.
yeah.
It's
And
so
one of the few
awesome.
that
It really is.
It's very educational. Like just
I've learned so much.
the other thing I got from him was with the Skeletor, like using the hydrogen peroxide and then putting it in the sun to like get rid of the faded, the green,
right?
Yeah.
the coloring, and it did work. Like I took off his head, took off his arm, stuck him upside down in a like a pint glass with hydrogen peroxide, put it in the sun,
So-
it bubbled up, and
so
it got rid of the discoloration.
there's a chemical, I don't know what it is. It's something, it's called Salon 40. A lot of people know about it. It's hair stuff, but it's the same thing. It's got hydrogen peroxide in it and some other chemicals. But one of the other ways to do what you're talking about with the hydrogen peroxide is to put that stuff in a container with it. A lot of people paint it on. The problem with that is it'll fade paint. Like if if there's like you got a really yellowed Storm Shadow figure, You can re-whiten it, but if you just spread it all over and don't protect the paint, it'll fade the paint as well, like the red Cobra sigil and the skin stuff on his face. But you can put that figure in the container, like suspended above the Salon 40 juice, and put it out in the sun, and the fumes from that will whiten it the same way that immersing it will, but it doesn't affect the paint. So that's another little tip for people.
Salon 40 is a volumizer they put in with bleach when you're bleaching your hair.
Okay.
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, and you can buy it at. You can get it online. You can get it at the like a beauty supply store or whatever.
Go talk to your hairstylist.
Yeah, I can go talk to a hairstylist upstairs and probably get a bucket of it from her.
There's
probably some in the house.
Yeah,
so many great tricks and tips on the Toy Ploy channel.
Oh yeah.
What other ones? Quick ones.
Well, the hydrogen peroxide and UV light. So you just get a plain
I saw that.
UV.
It doesn't have to be sunlight necessarily. Yeah.
Well, that's what's doing it.
Exactly. Because I didn't have a UV light.
That also makes the clear plastic that's yellowed clear again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I don't remember if it was Toy Ploy or who it was, but I saw someone do like a complete Millennium Falcon. Yeah. Like re-whitened a Millennium Falcon. And it just looks fantastic.
That was my other favorite. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. He restores a lot of metal toys.
Yeah,
like
I've seen some of those, and they look really good.
He doesn't say anything, and it's like the best. It's something restore.
Yeah,
is the page. It's like the best. I'll just watch it for hours.
He does all kinds of he does Matchbox cars, and he does like the old tin toys. And
there's like 1,000 videos,
and he'll like weld in new material and stuff if the toy's rusted out and has it's fantastic.
And then it does my favorite part is with those he'll do the sandblasting.
Yeah,
and you just
that's really satisfying to watch. And I've done sandblasting myself, and it's really satisfying to do it too.
Plumber's tape, you said.
Plumber's tape is a big thing, like the white stuff that you put on pipe threads. Yeah. Pipe thread tape. Yeah, you can.
It's Teflon, so it's not going to hurt you.
And you can wrap that around joints, shoulder joints and knee joints and stuff. Elgin, you said something about something that you used to. Oh no, it was you, Jason. You said the black thread.
Oh yeah, just fixing a bumblebee joint arm. Just wrap some black thread around the joint. It gave it tightness and helped it stand and pose instead of being all floppy. Never would have thought of that.
Super glue and baking soda. For like building up stuff. You dab the super glue on and then sprinkle some baking soda on. It just turns rock hard instantly.
It's a setting agent for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you can manipulate it. You can sand it down, file it, whatever, and get it to the exact
thickness
you want.
Thinner, you can actually do the super glue, and they sell a setting spray.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you just
so if you want like a thinner layer of it, you can do that.
Yeah, but that's something I use for joints too. Sometimes is or nail polish is another one. Painting nail polish, like clear nail polish into a joint, and
I've done those same things for guitar as well because you can use that baking soda and super glue to replace to fix the nut on the guitar, and then you just have to refile it for the string, and you can use clear polish for any finishing stuff like that, or fill in the spots and then sand it down. So those things kind of
I've used fingernail polish when I play drums
to look prettier.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha.
There's also a plastic weld.
I'll add the cricket noise.
That stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
I've been using it a bunch on my Shockwave to fix some stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, tons and tons and tons of great resources out there. That's why
you should
YouTube was
look
invented.
for the gel Loctite.
Yeah,
super
I have
glue.
some
as opposed to just the liquid stuff.
Yeah,
the gel, because you can control it a little more, and it doesn't just shoot out all at once,
and it doesn't dry as quickly.
Yeah, and it gives you a little more time.
The tip with super glue is buy the smallest bottle you can get.
Yeah,
with the longest, smallest nozzle.
Yep.
I only get gel super glue
because you will be surprised how much you don't actually use.
Yeah. Right. Unless you're using it all the time for stuff.
Even if you're using it all the time, you're better off getting more smaller containers.
Right. Yeah.
Because it dries out and gets
the gel stuff though I like it particularly because you can squirt it on and kind of manipulate it with a fine point of something, whether it's a knife or a pin or
with a little longer working time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can.
And I've used that to rebuild like cracked elbows on GI Joes. I've had one, and I think I took some pictures of that too. I can post up, but I completely rebuilt a cracked elbow. It was the worst one I'd ever seen. It was probably a good 1/16 of an inch crack in
like,
the elbow,
fuck it, let's
and
just
they're
try it.
usually like a hairline. And yeah, I was just like, fuck it. I mean, it was a total beater toy, and so I completely rebuilt it, and just with super glue, no setting agent, and it just basically turned into a paste the more I worked it, and then eventually it hardened. So yeah, super glue is your friend if you're careful with it.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe
And the little like helping hands like solder station
Yeah, I have a
thing
set
with
of those.
alligator clip
Yep.
things.
Yeah,
you've had one of them forever.
Mhm.
those things are so awesome.
Third and
Lasers
fourth
for
hands.
soldering
Yeah.
all
I
the
don't have
time.
enough hands.
Yeah, they're great for like if you're doing custom work too. Like if you're painting something, you can like clip a little arm.
Sometimes
or
they'll
whatever
have a
into it.
magnifying glass on it too. If you
Yeah.
get some of those with
I
two
saw
arms.
at Hobby Lobby they have
They're not expensive either. You can
They're-
get them for like
their
$7 or
alligator
$8.
clips on a stick,
Yeah.
and so you can just put them on a piece of foam
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
then
nice.
paint stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can we'll post some pictures of some of our fixes. I'm really happy to hear that everyone here is into fixing. Maybe I'll get into some more of it too. I'm glad that we're all about getting them toys up on the shelf.
It's satisfying. It's like
Yeah.
doing surgery. It's
Spending time-
satisfying like
yeah.
like doing the stickers. It's you accomplish something and you feel good about it. And
I mean, if you can spend a little time fixing a vintage toy that you got cheap because it was broken and now it's fixed and now you have it.
yeah,
So it's like
satisfying.
and it's
It's
staying
ha-
in your collection.
yeah,
You don't have to worry about
exactly.
like
you're not going to sell it. So
No.
it's just part of your
Well,
collection now, and now it's fixed.
Speaking of selling, if you do fix a toy, don't try selling it as
Right.
something
Yeah, scalpers.
that's not
yeah,
broken.
disclose that. Oh,
yes,
my gosh.
disclose your fixes
ethical.
and customizations. There are people there are purists. Like honestly, there are purists in the GI Joe community who will say it's not a 100% original figure if the O-ring has been replaced.
Wow.
Like if it does not have that rubber band that was put in the factory in 1986, it
I
is
get
no
it.
longer
I
a
mean,
100% original figure.
They're not wrong.
Not wrong.
Yeah, but
Come on, man.
come on, man. It's a rubber band. How are you going to like things like that? I would replace an O-ring and still say this is a 100% original figure.
Yeah.
So watch out for Corey when he's
Yeah, watch out for Corey.
Do not buy.
I mean, so are you buying your rubber bands from Hasbro?
Oh, good question.
No, I'm buying the rubber bands from
Nickel.
probably Washington Lumber because they have the right size.
They also do sell. I saw for the hip joints for so it's like 2 ball ends and then a hook. You
Yeah.
can actually buy those like by the dozen
Yeah.
to fix them.
Tattoo O-ring, like tattoo gun O-rings. There's like a particular size of those that is like perfect for GI Joes. Apparently,
Yeah.
I've never bought them. I just go to the hardware store and get a 7/16 inner, 9/16 outer diameter O-ring and put those in. They're a little thinner than what most people use, but they will not break an 82, 83 figure.
Well, so if you get them from a tattoo place, they're going to be pretty thin.
yeah,
They're made for like that size is made for just going on jewelry,
yeah.
and so like they're not super thick.
All right, good discussion.
Word.
I love it. Let's take a quick break, and we're going to hear from our podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we are back. It's time to get in the van. Elton's driving this time. He's a good driver.
He
I like
always
when he
drives.
But he's going to take us on a store tour.
All right. Well, today's store that we're going to is actually kind of a 3-store
It's
one.
An empire.
It's an
Yeah.
empire.
franchise
there you go.
of 3. It's Jay's CD and Hobby. There are 3 locations in Des Moines. The first one is 3315 Southeast 14th Street. Another one is at 1421 22nd Street. And the last one is 3800 Merle Hay Road. I'm pretty sure I've been to 2 of them. And most recently I've been to the Merle Hay location.
How is it?
It's good, actually. Pretty good. They have a lot of Funko Pops there.
Sold.
And they're like a big wall of them when you go in the mall. Because that was the one that QuadCon was at in Des Moines.
Oh. So you're
At
right
the
there.
Merle. Yeah, so I just went in there again. I did pick up a couple things there at previous times I went. One was this Battle Armor He-Man, which had all his weapons. I didn't bring them, but and his action feature works in the front where he gets battle damage. I never had him as a kid.
I was just going to say, Spooty, I think we had some battle damage.
Yeah, I had Skeletor as a kid. I didn't have He-Man, so getting this one now was kind of nice.
I remember. Do you remember the battle damage like Hot Wheels cars?
Oh yeah, I had some of those.
Those
I still have some of those. I think.
Do you
Some-
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then the other one I got was Extendar, which when I went there to check out at the front, the guy was like, "What's the name of this figure?" And so without missing without missing a beat, without missing a beat, I said in this voice, "Extendor,"
Oh, my God.
and he just looked up and he was like, "Extender." And they started typing, and then I felt like I was like, "But that's not his name.
That's not how you
That's not how you say it."
Something real quick that I did not know about these battle armor Motu figures is that they had 2 different levels of
Yep.
battle damage.
Yep.
I did not know that.
extra damage.
They
Yeah,
have a
there's
1/ and 2/.
1/ and 2/.
They have a So the one
Extendor.
it's Extendor.
That's the little green pill.
Yeah. It's like Cialis variant.
How you say
Yeah, it's the Dollar General version of Cialis.
Exactly. But yeah, and then he's like, he didn't say it right, and then it just made me like sad.
Aw,
But I said it to you.
I'm not coming back to your
Yeah.
store.
No, I still came back. But
Yeah.
I think I got a jet sled there another time, and they have a little section though when you walk into the left, all the way to the back side, and then it's on the bottom, kind of the side facing outside, so you look through the window and see in the bottom there. And then they have Joe's there too, and Transformers as well. Those kind of glass cases that are locked. And then the other one I think I went to was the Southeast 14th Street one. Pretty sure we went there, and then we went to Buffalo Wild Wings afterwards. If anyone
Least
remembers.
favorite.
That's the only one I've
love
been to,
wings.
I think.
Wings are great.
The least favorite is Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Not that.
Not a fan of that store.
Yeah.
Overload.
It's great if you like really loud places. So,
Right.
I just really like wings, and I don't care what's going on around me. When there's wings in front of me,
Just-
and I'm going to eat them, and I don't give a shit what's playing on
Not
the
a-
TV or how
not a
loud it
wing
is.
guy.
But I don't remember a lot of Motu figures at that place. Maybe I just didn't see them at that
They had
time.
there's a couple cases section.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to go back.
I have
sometime.
been to. I think I've been to. I know I've been to that one, the 14th Street
Right.
one, and
We-
I
'cause
think
we
the
went
other
there.
one that I've been to is the Merle Hay one.
because we took you there.
Yeah, I think the other one I've been to is the Merle Hay one.
This other one is like
Jordan Creek, you said area, or
it's 1421 22nd Street. I'm not sure where. I think it's like more toward like the stadium, like the
yeah.
iCub Stadium area, like that southeast area. I think,
Just
but
making it up.
And
I'm
I
not
think it's
Google
the-
Maps, so I don't
think
know.
it's the other one that I've been to. And like Jay's gets a lot of shit from people sometimes. Like I have friends that like they still go
Why?
there and they still occasionally get stuff there, but like they also kind of talk shit about the prices, but
Yeah.
Jay's will haggle. Like
Yeah.
they it doesn't seem like the type of place that
It
will
doesn't.
because of its size and everything, but they will haggle. Like I've every time I bought something from there, I've said, "Hey, I want to pay this much," and like haggle with them, and it's fine.
So I thought the one on 14th, like the prices were not bad.
I
No,
think it was too bad.
yeah.
like I said, the 2 figures that I talked about earlier, like I got them. They were $15 each, and like that's not the lowest end, but it's definitely like a pretty good deal for those. They're usually closer to 20 or 25 a piece. So I've been perfectly happy with the stuff that I've gotten. I don't know about other toy lines because I don't buy other toy lines really, but the stuff that I'm interested in has been pretty good.
There's a decent
the
selection
prices
of a
on
lot.
these are pretty good, so they were under what normal.
Yeah.
It's a big volume store. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's stuff for everybody for sure. Big fan of Jay's. I've only been to the East 14th one. I need to get to the other ones. We need to just get
The Merle Hay one
and
is pretty good.
maybe we could just go to all three one day.
I think the Merle Hay one
Yeah, sounds
is bigger than the 14th
Don't
Street
say
one.
that. Is that even possible?
I think it is.
Is there that many toys in Des Moines?
And I haven't been to the other ones.
Let's go.
It's a good size.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks.
I don't.
you're welcome.
I love Jay's a lot because it's the best toy store in our state. I don't want to say this because it's kind of talking shit, but like they have a thing that plenty of toy stores have. I don't recall any of the stores we've talked about so far, but they got like in the East 14th one, there's a wing of gaming, as in there's a wing of feet smell. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's
Hobbit feet or something.
just the those kids that game. I don't want to alienate anyone. I'm just saying there's that whole
I
section.
mean,
over
anyone
there.
that's ever like gone to a store that has gaming in it knows that smell
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's not
of unwashed teenagers.
that's all hey, I'm not complaining. It's just that
That's the smell of neckbeard.
I didn't say that either. So,
Unwashed neckbeard.
but Jay's on East 14th has a very large gaming section over to the side there. That's probably
Luckily,
not
there's
well
like a
ventilated,
wall of
but
Warhammer stuff
At least there's that between
that
you
kind
and
of
that.
blocks it.
Again, not a complaint because I love Jay's. I don't mean it, but
I was
the thing
Got a
is,
foot fetish.
I don't think you can get away from that though,
Yeah.
and still have that.
I was way off. It's in West Des Moines, the other one. So not even close to whatever I said earlier.
And everyone listening to this, like,
Comparatively,
is
like, if
saying,
you're in
"What's Des
Arkansas,
Moines?"
Yeah.
Right.
they're
What
both
is
like-
Des Moines? Des Moines?
It's
Des-
I think it's
Des
pronounced
Moines?
Des Moines.
Yeah, it's French for the Moines.
Of the monks.
Anyway, love Jay's. Jay's is awesome. I'm so glad there's 3 locations. I can't believe I haven't been to all 3. I know Mike's always talking about going to that Merle Hay one. I'm like, dang it, I need to go.
Oh, it's the one in West Des Moines is right next to Jethro's Barbecue.
Oh,
and,
There you go.
And Bacon is
shit.
what this is.
I feel like we got a good day planned
Yeah.
ahead of us, fellas.
yeah.
So let's go. So if you're in Des Moines or
West
Des
Town
Moines
Center.
is or Les Moines, whatever y'all said,
Le Moines.
please go to Jay's. It's awesome. Support them. They're great. In Des Moines. All right. That's time. You ready, Corey? You ready for this?
I believe so.
Cool. Let's talk. Let's do some. This segment, I have a hard time like getting a sentence into saying what it is. I can't.
Talking toys? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Let's talk toys.
Yeah, but it's talking toys.
Let's talking toys.
Yeah, see, it doesn't make sense in a
Is that what you're
sentence.
saying?
That's all I'm saying. So
Let's talking toys.
Let's Tolkien.
Let's talking toys.
Are you the one that named
One
it?
more time with that
Okay.
option.
Let's talking toys.
Hey, it's talking toys.
We asked the question, what do you do about broken toys?
Send them.
Do you
to
like
Spooty.
to fix them
And algebra.
or just replace them? I'm going to start off with the dickhead in chief himself. Flyboy's Toys and Collectibles. So our friend Flyboy was on our show a couple weeks ago.
Our ex-friend Fly.
And never
friend
again
Flyboy.
after this.
So he says, trash them.
What?
Flyboy.
What?
How dare you?
Flyboy. Come on, man. Come on.
Be serious.
come on.
Come on. Flyboy says, trash them. If they are toys I buy for my kids and they break them, so be it. However, if I accidentally break one, like I freaking did with a G1 Headstrong a month back, it has to be thrown away. Might be another reason why I prefer to keep unopened. Flyboy!
I don't even know what to say.
Flyboy! You showed up at our show, and for your Thrill of the Hunt section, like you're part of it, you brought two full totes of what, Jason?
Broken toys.
That you purchased on purpose. Don't give us any shit, Flyboy. If you are that upset by the toy that you broke, somebody else will take it off of your hands, or just tell us when you're going to throw it out, and we'll come root through your garbage.
Right?
Oh my God, you are so full of shit. Yeah. Oh, Flyboy. Oh, you done me wrong, kid. Tadgood says, I try to fix him if I can, because he's not a shit. Some companies are pretty good about sending replacement parts if they're modern and available. That's true. Hasbro will do that sometimes. Also, the thing that Hasbro does occasionally, which this is a little off topic, but it just popped into my head. All the old G.I. Joe stuff came with these things called flag points. It's like a UPC code, but it's a flag, and it's got a number of points. So like a figure was 1 or 2 points. A medium-sized vehicle is like 5. A big vehicle might be 10 points. When we were younger, there was all the mail-away stuff, and it would be, send in so many flag points and $2 for shipping, and we'll send you this mail-away thing. People have, as recently as within the last couple of years, like packed up a bunch of flag points and sent them to Hasbro to see what they would do. And Hasbro has like sent them toys. Like, here's this new we don't have anything on there in the list.
Sending them vintage toys.
Yeah, here's this new modern thing that hopefully you'll like. And it's just it's a game. Like, oh, let's send in these flag points. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll get something. Maybe, but yeah, Hasbro has been known to. Like somebody in their marketing department is like, oh, this is cool. I feel good, like all retro, like feeling nostalgic. And hey, let's send this guy this thing, and it's cool.
Except
anyway,
for cutting the chunk off the box.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But a lot of people just find them like they just have them laying around, and it's cool to have 1 or 2 in a collection. But there's no reason to keep 30 of these things.
Yeah.
Tony Miller says, I lose broken parts, crying emoji. Ken Tomlin. Hey, Ken. Talking about you again. If it's feasible financially, I'll just buy a new one. Otherwise, I'll attempt to fix it or just leave it as is. I'm kind of crazy when it comes to fixing or repairing my stuff. And Abe Kirshner. Since I'm more of an aesthetic spelling collector, I'll probably just modify it or make it look cool in a display. Oh, no. Storm Shadow's rubber band broke, becomes, whoa, Snake Eyes finally chopped him in half. Abe, literally everyone in the country has spell check on their phones. You don't need to worry about it.
I think it is spelled correctly, actually.
I think it is, yeah. A-S-T-D.
It would be.
It should be A-E-S.
H-T-E-T.
Now you're making up.
I-C-K-Q.
So
you spelled it right. You spelled it right, Abe. And as I talked about earlier, Snake Eyes doesn't have to have chopped Storm Shadow in half. Those O-rings are easy to replace, as long as the screw's not rusted out. If the screw is rusted out, you get a small drill, you take it easy, you go slow, but you can drill the head off of a rusted out screw in a G.I. Joe and then take the threaded shaft part out with a pair of pliers. It works. You can remove the shaft if you work it easy.
Talk slower.
Talk a little slower. I believe that is all the comments from
awesome
from our listeners this week and from Flyboy. Man,
unforgivable.
I
mean, after I replied, being angry and being like, "Why the hell don't you send them to me, you a-hole?" But then I started thinking about Flyboy and like I could see him getting mad that if you broke your damn toy in front of you.
Yeah, and he's pissed and just throws it. Yeah, I mean,
screw this.
Yeah, your Nintendo controller.
And then an hour later,
TV
you go
screen.
pick it up. And then,
yeah. No, I'm calling bullshit because of the sheer amount of broken toys that he literally walked into this place with.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for leaving those comments in Talking Toys. We love hearing from you. I love the Facebook group, man. The chat's been going great in there, and everyone's getting involved and leaving great comments. So, like we talked earlier, maybe we'll send pictures of stuff we fixed. We'd love to see pictures of the stuff you fixed. So, the Facebook group is a great place for that to happen. So send your stuff there. Follow us all over those places.
Instagrams, tweeters,
all those things.
Space Face.
Mm-hmm.
And
Skeletor.
Jason's home address is...
I told you I was going to before, but I put it on the website.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
that so you
If
can
you've got
send
anything
toys?
to send us...
if you come across an old box of toys in your basement.
Or if you've got any questions and you don't use the internet, you can always write it down on like $100 bill. Put it in the mail.
Right. All
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that we got to talk about fixing toys because, like you said, it really
Fucking Flyboy.
ultimately is about getting them toys on the shelf and looking cool like they.
You know what
need
Flyboy
to be.
is?
What?
Flyboy's the kind of guy, like he's like the, like, if life hands you pants, shit 'em kind of guy.
Well, let's get out of here and go beat him up and take all his toys. What do you say?
We love you, Flyboy.
Love you, you jerk. All right, let's get out of here and go fix some toys.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you again on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.